Good morning, Pittsburgh, and happy St. Patrick's Day. Welcome to Pitt to the Point, live from the state-of-the-art Pitt Studios. I'm Margot Rensel.
And I'm Mia Wadella. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Pitt to the Point is your 1-hour news magazine show that covers everything at the University of Pittsburgh to its regional campuses,
to the City of Pittsburgh, as well as national and international news. We'll be covering everything from entertainment, politics, and sports.
And we'll be sure to keep you updated on all things Pittsburgh, all the way to the point.
In recent days, University of Pittsburgh students have been expressing their thoughts and concerns regarding upcoming events happening around campus.
The events include 3 controversial speakers that have publicly expressed their views on transgender rights and identity.
Some Pitt community members have been calling on Pitt to cancel such events.
Here's more on the story.
Recent concerns in the LGBTQIA community on the University of Pittsburgh's campus are being raised about 3 anti-transgender events that could happen over the next month on the University of Pittsburgh's campus. But not everyone is sitting idly by and letting it happen, as protests and other activities are deemed to be necessary to occur.
Outrage and clamor have taken over the University of Pittsburgh after it was revealed that 3 anti-trans speakers will be hosted on the University of Pittsburgh's campus.
So it makes me feel as if, Pitt is kind of failing its LGBTQ plus students on that front.
I think these events are going to be pretty harmful overall to the trans community.
On March 24th, Cabot Phillips, an editor of the right-wing website The Daily Wire, will come to campus. Then on March 27th, Riley Gaines, a critic of transgender athletes competing in women's sports, will come to campus. And later on April 18th, Michael Knowles, who said he wanted to eradicate transgenderism, will be on campus. And many students are responding with plenty of fervor.
Transgenderism isn't a thing. There are transgender people, because being transgender is not an ideology. It is just an identity.
They like Turning Point USA, the organization openly says that the groups are just to spark debate or to try and show people the quote unquote other side, but in reality they're just designed to intimidate trans people on campus.
A literal debate about whether men can magically become women simply by thinking that they are.
I think that the kind of people that these events will draw onto campus, the kind of harmful rhetoric that's going to come on that, it's inviting these kinds of people, this harmful rhetoric to campus, and that is not an environment that trans people should have to put up with.
In response, students created a petition, which has garnered over 10,000 signatures. Meanwhile, Rainbow Alliance drafted a letter denouncing the anti-trans events on campus, and now a protest has been organized for March 24th to go against the events. Pitt released a statement on Thursday stating that just because the events happen on Pitt's property does not mean that they endorse the rhetoric or values that is being enforced in those. However, they still say they don't have jurisdiction to necessarily cancel that, and they threw it into those organizations' court instead. But still, they reinforced their values of diversity and equity in the university. However, there are still protests scheduled on March 24th and March 27th against the 2 events, and on April 18th as well. From Pitt to the Point, I'm your Pitt beat reporter, Nick Fairbaugh. Margot, Mia.
Several Pitt students have begun organizing a protest against the university's response that is occurring next Friday. We'll keep you updated on the story.
Election season has arrived for the University of Pittsburgh's Student Government Board.
That's right, Margot. Pitt Student Government Board announced that Election Day will take place on Tuesday, March 21st.
Pitt students can vote at the polls from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday.
For more on Pitt's Student Government Board election standings, let's hear from our political reporter, Jamie Ely. Jamie?
Mia, we're off to the races. The Student Government Board races, that is. After a month-long campaign season, candidates are gearing up for their final week of campaigning. With the vacancy of several board seats and the presidency coming up, this election is looking like it could be anyone's for the taking, all for the benefit of students here at Pitt.
Election season is off and running for the Student Government Board, and the campaigns are going full steam ahead. After a month of networking with student organizations and utilizing social media to advertise their platforms, candidates are now allowed to do more targeted campaigns, such as handing out buttons and writing in chalk on campus sidewalks. With graduation looming on the horizon for current SGB president Danielle Floyd, one slate is looking to fill the soon-to-be vacant position, Illuminate. Led by presidential candidate Ryan Young, Illuminate's running on a platform of education to prevent sexual assault and support for survivors of assault, as well as making financial aid and disability resources more accessible for students. Disrupt, the other slate on the ballot, is running two board candidates, Katie Emmer and Olivia Rosati. Much like their name suggests, Disrupt's mission is to shake up the Pitt environment. Launched because they were upset with the university's refusal to manage and address student concerns in a meaningful manner, Disrupt is focusing on improving sexual violence prevention, reform to the Title IX office, and demanding fossil fuel divestment. While the presidency is unopposed, the board seats are anyone's game. At the end of the day, despite the two slates having different platforms, both are looking to improve the student experience here at Pitt.
Despite focusing on different aspects that need to be improved upon at Pitt, both slates are very clear in their main goal, to help the students. However, it is up to the students to vote and decide who will advocate for them. Voting opens on March 21st and runs from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., in which students will make their voice heard and make change happen. For Pitt to the Point, I'm political reporter Jamie Ely. Margot, Mia.
Thanks for that update, Jamie. Since 1913, the Pitt News has been providing the Pitt community with accurate and timely news.
We are proud to feature them on the show. Take a look at the latest headlines.
Pitt alumni Pat Bruner founded Bankrupt Bodega back in 2018. What initially started as a personal clothing brand eventually evolved into a clothing and film hybrid that highlights the work of local photographers and actively gives back to the community. James Barr von Osen has been named the new director of the Pittsburgh Supercomputing Center. The PSC is a research center owned by both the University of Pittsburgh and Carnegie Mellon University. Van Osen will officially fill this new role this upcoming May. The University of Pittsburgh is currently reviewing the hiring process of a current Pitt business professor. The professor was reported to have made non-consensual sexual contact with multiple people during his time as an employee at Michigan State University. Pitt plans to announce the next appropriate steps after this initial review.
We got a tip for that story from Alex Walters, who is a reporter for the State News, which is the Michigan State student newspaper. He actually took the liberty to email us a copy of the Freedom of Information Act request, the report that they acquired from Michigan State University, which had all the information about this incident and the investigation that followed it. So I would like to give a shout out to Alex for that student newspaper solidarity. It was very cool of him to think of us and to get in contact with us about that and give us that information.
Pitt's campus is not only excited because of St. Patrick's Day, it is madness.
That's right, Margot. March Madness is in full swing. Pitt students and Pitt fans are excited because of a recent nail-biting win that happened on Tuesday night.
Pitt will take on Iowa State today, Friday the 17th at 3:10 p.m.
That game was crazy, Margot. I almost had a heart attack while watching it.
Me too, Mia. It was madness. We take it to our Pitt sports reporter, Erin Clark, for her take. Erin?
Thanks, Margot. I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited it's this time of year again. March Madness is back, and for the first time since 2016, our Pitt Panthers were selected to go dancing. No one foresaw this run the Panthers have made, and many doubted head coach Jeff Capel's ability to bring success to the program after a rocky last couple of years. Capel and his players described the emotions they felt hearing their name called Sunday.
When the Panthers heard their name called Sunday evening during the NCAA tournament selection show, everything came together for the men's basketball team. They had finally proven themselves, and so had head coach Jeff Capel. It had been a tough last few years for Pitt, finishing 11th or lower in the ACC in the previous 4 seasons. This put high pressure on Capel, who started with the team in 2018, to show he could make something out of the talent present here. This season was one no one had predicted. It has been quite impressive, and you could feel the excitement at every home game at the Peterson Event Center. In the ACC, the Panthers went 4-4 in Quad 1 games, 3-5 in Quad 2 games, 5-1 in Quad 3 games, and 10-1 in Quad 4 games. After Tuesday's win, Jorge Graham discussed the emotions he felt celebrating with his brother, who played such a big role in the game with the absence of center Federico. Pitt looks to showcase their veteran roster and continue to make a run in the tournament.
Emotional. You and Guillermo were on the court with your post-game hug. Just take me through those emotions.
Honestly, he made me emotional. I wasn't emotional. I was just happy we won. But he started crying when I hugged him, so I just, I couldn't contain my tears.
Speaking of Guillermo, where is he?
He's Hollywood. He's doing media now. He has a good game now. He's.
How sweet is it just for you guys to be able to share this moment this year in your freshman year?
I think it's awesome. I remember when we were trying to figure out where to come, we wasn't sure how this year was going to be, and our expectations were just hard year, not playing too much, just learning, getting that freshman experience. But it's been completely different. We've played, and we've learned a lot. I think we've got much better, and I think I'm really happy with this season.
Pitt competed in one of the 2 NCAA play-in games that took place Tuesday to advance to the round of 64, where they came out on top in a close one over Mississippi State by a final score of 60-59. The Panthers are now set to play Iowa State today at 3:10 p.m. We are lucky enough to have our very own Nick Faribault live in Greensboro as the teams gear up to compete. Nick, what do you got for us?
Yeah, Pitt won that thriller in Dayton, and now it's time for them to go to Greensboro in the round of 64. Iowa State playing them today, and after edging that Mississippi State win out, it's Jamarius Burton who's leading the team. He is the heartbeat of this team, and after edging out that very close win with that mid-range jumper, he was seen working on this very exact shot yesterday. But more and more is happening. The energy is starting to build around this program. Greg Elliott, Blake Hinson, everyone's feeling a little lighthearted. Everyone's feeling the March Madness mood. And they're thanking their fans for coming out to Dayton and coming to Greensboro. And they even got shown a little bit of love from President Barack Obama.
Having our crowd there, man. I mean, when they did the starting lineups, you heard them. You felt it and throughout the game. You heard the "Let's Go Pitt" chants. And then at the end, when we blocked that shot in those last 2.7 seconds, I mean, I thought their energy helped that ball not go in, the 3 in the corner and then the tip in.
Gave me chills. I felt that when the fans got up and was cheering. That was the best part of the whole thing. Because, we're not at home, We used to having good home crowds, but the fact that they came out and traveled and had belief in us, this was that much better for us.
President Obama has you guys winning against Iowa State in his bracket.
All right, Barack.
Pennsylvania's governor has you guys going to the Elite Eight. Just wanted to get your thoughts on those 2 bracketology projections.
Blake, you think Barack gonna see this? Barack, what up, man? Yeah, that's love, Barack. I'm not gonna forget that right there.
Oh, by the way, he's not the only person that really thinks they're going to go far. Governor Josh Shapiro has them in the Elite Eight, beating Penn State at that. But they're going to try and win this one first. At 3:10 today, they're looking to defeat the Iowa State Cyclones. For Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt Beat reporter Nick Faribault, live from Greensboro. Back to you, Aaron.
Thanks, Nick. Now, let me ask you something. Having one tournament win already under their belts, especially missing starting center and still coming out with the win, how does that affect Pitt's mentality coming into today?
Well, it should build them a ton of confidence, even if Federico doesn't play today. Guillermo Diaz-Graham had a shot in Hollywood now. He had that big block at the end. Jamarius Burton has to have a lot of confidence. They're a veteran team that plays with a lot of moxie. Nelly Cummings, Nike Sabandi, multiple guys that can contribute. And Blake Hinson, this is a revenge game against Iowa State. That's his former team that he transferred from to come to Pitt. It should be a fun one down in Greensboro, and Pitt's probably on the upset-minded list. Now, Aaron,
All right. Well, thank you so much, Nick. We are cheering on the Panthers up here in Oakland. Now, taking a look at the Midwest bracket in the NCAA tournament, we see the matchup today between Pitt and Iowa State. This game is especially interesting, as Nick mentioned, as Panthers forward Blake Hinson formerly was on the roster at Iowa State until he transferred to Pitt in the year 2021. So we can expect the second team All-ACC player to have something to prove today in Greensboro. Now, if Pitt does win today, they will advance to the round of 32 and face the winner of the Xavier and Kennesaw State game. Since Tuesday was Pitt's first NCAA tournament win since the 2013 season, it's an exciting time here in Oakland. You can feel the energy on campus, and everyone hopes to see the Panthers keep on dancing. For Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt sports reporter Erin Clark. Mia, Margot?
Thank you, Aaron and Nick. Now that we know what's going on with the Panthers, we are joined live with the longtime voice of Iowa State Cyclones basketball, Mr. John Walters.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Walters.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
First of all, we want to congratulate you on Iowa State's success this season. Because of many Iowa State wins throughout the season, Iowa State is favored to win the game. What do you see will be the keys to this afternoon's game?
It'll be interesting because Pittsburgh is such a great offensive team. They can shoot the three-pointer. They are really good at getting up and down the floor. They've got a lot of guys that can beat you with their offense. But Iowa State's a very good defensive team. They led the Big 12 in scoring defense. They are a team that turns the ball over a lot against opponents, so they try to get turnovers and get out and run. And then they're a very good rebounding team. So those are not necessarily Pittsburgh's strengths. And so, it'll be an interesting contrast to style and see which team can impose their will on the game.
I'm very interested to see this contrast.
Yeah, so earlier in the year, Iowa State beat North Carolina, which was a big moment for the team. Because they have already beat an ACC team, does this make them more or less comfortable for the upcoming game this afternoon?
Well, that one was such a long time ago, and North Carolina was ranked number 1 at the time, so it was a big deal. I think what gives them confidence from an Iowa State perspective is just the fact that they competed in the Big 12 conference, which was the best basketball conference this year. And Iowa State has 9 victories over top 25 teams. That's more than any other team in college basketball. They have 6 wins over top 10 teams, which is more than anybody else in college basketball. Now, they've had some losses too. I'm not sitting here saying they should be the favorite to win the national championship, but they should have plenty of confidence that they can line up and beat just about anybody because they've done it throughout the season. They've beaten Kansas, they've beaten Kansas State, they've beaten Texas, they've beaten some great teams.
With all of that confidence and all those victories, Iowa State has 2 guards that are leading scorers, Jared Holmes and Gabe Kalscheur. How do you think these 2 players will play tonight?
I think they'll play well. They do pretty much every game. Jaron is a really steady force, and he's Iowa State's leading scorer, but he's just a great leader. That's him, number 13. And then Gabe, that's him, number 22. He is a terrific defensive player, but he's also really gets in the gym and works on his game, and he has become a very good shooter this year and a guy that's a leader offensively as well. So they're great teammates. Iowa State is a team where, yes, they have some good players, but they're not going to have anybody probably that plays in the NBA. They did not have a first team all Big 12 player, but the collection of their parts is better than their parts. When they play together as a team, they can play very well. And they do play together as a team. They're well coached. I think it'll be a great game today. Pittsburgh is well coached as well. I think it'll be a terrific matchup.
All right. So with that being said, what is defining about this season's Cyclones team compared to other teams that have made the NCAA tournament in the past?
Well, if you go back 2 years ago, Iowa State went 2-22, and that was pretty bad. And then hired TJ Otzelberger as its new head coach. And now in TJ's first year, Iowa State went to the Sweet 16. And in their second year, they're back in the NCAA tournament, hoping to go back to another Sweet 16. So he's done an absolutely fabulous job of turning this program around. And everybody's at Iowa State is very excited about him. I think it comes back to this. They play well together as a team. They are a good group of guys who play really hard together. they're going to come out and really guard you. And so that's going to be the challenge for Pittsburgh, is to not turn the ball over, to make that extra pass and to make threes, because Iowa State can turn you over and get out and get some of its offense off its defense. So it'll be a great game today.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Walters. We appreciate all of your input, and we're looking forward to this afternoon's game.
Thanks, Margo and Mia, for having me.
We wish Iowa State luck, and we also wish our Panthers luck. It'll take the luck of the Irish for them.
I'm looking forward to it. Stay tuned to hear from our college and high school friends at Lancaster Catholic.
Stick around to hear more from our regional campus reporter on a criminal justice forum at Pitt Johnstown. And coming up, we will learn more about a local business that is dedicated to Irish-themed items.
And with more Irish culture, we will look at the largest St. Patrick's Day celebrations happening around the city. After we return,
we'll be right back.
They come here, forged in the spirit of change, pushing to answer the questions, and then questioning the answers, embracing each challenge as fuel for reinventing the world. Because here, leadership, courage, creativity, innovation, and progress are always in progress. The University of Pittsburgh, forge ahead.
welcome back. Have you checked out our website yet? Well, if you haven't, give it a look.
If you want to see all of your Pitt to the Point faves and stay up on current events, check us out on pittothepoint.com.
If you want to learn about the magic that happens behind the scenes and see more of our good-looking team, check us out on our social media.
You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Pitt to the Point and on Facebook at Pitt to the Point. Check it out. Now, St. Patrick's Day is a holiday that embraces Irish culture.
That's right, Margot. And one store in Pittsburgh is keeping the Irish culture alive well beyond St. Patrick's Day.
Our city beat reporter Allie Ross has more on this story. Allie.
Thank you, Margot. I checked Ancestry.com and I am 40% Irish, so I'm really excited about celebrating St. Patrick's Day with you guys on the show. And as City Beat reporter, I thought, what better way to do that than by highlighting a business in Pittsburgh that's fighting to keep Irish culture and community alive. And that's what brought me to the Irish Design Center.
Well, the store itself has been around for 45 years at this point. Began by a man named Paul Carey, who ran the Irish Design Center here in Pittsburgh for 40 years. Pretty connected through my own heritage. We're pretty committed to perpetuating the culture here in Pittsburgh, and this was an extension of that effort. We really sell a little bit of everything. When we took over the shop, we added a pantry, pretty significant pantry. Lots of food, Irish favorites. People from the old country get to come here and get their bangers. And we've introduced people to some of the new offerings coming out of Ireland. Well, even though we look at everything as unisex, we primarily have a men's section. Hats and ties and coats and socks and jewelry and all kinds of wallets, leather goods, kilts.
We have a whole children's area. It's right behind. You can't see any of the camera outfits that their kids can wear because they want to dress them up for St. Patrick's Day. And we go just about every year to Dublin to meet the makers, the people that are from Ireland who put these things together.
I've been coming here probably at least 25 years. It's everything Irish. I mean, I'm Irish, and my wife is Irish. And they have such a variety of stuff here. It's just amazing all the different things they have. That if you like Ireland, this is the place to come.
Tom and Mara, the owners, did tell me that they are going to have some promotions and fun stuff going on for the holiday today. So if you still need your lucky green sweater or you just want to check out the rest of those Irish goodies, make sure you head down to Carnegie Mellon's campus to the Irish Design Center. For Pitt to the Point, I'm your City Beat reporter, Allie Ross. Margot, Mia?
Thank you for that, Allie. Mia, are you Irish?
Well, I know this weekend I will be, and we're wearing green.
Exactly. We don't have to pinch each other.
Next up, we have an exciting college and high school report for you.
Today, we are joined live with Lancaster Catholic High School to see what is going on with the Crusaders in Lancaster, PA.
What do you guys have for us?
Thanks, guys.
My name is Alexis Lenhart.
And I'm Xavier Molina.
Lancaster City is filled with so many historical and fascinating sights. From shows at the Fulton Theater to conventions at the Marriott, Lancaster is never boring. Our focus for today is shopping at the Lancaster Central Market, so let's go see it.
Looking for fresh produce, fun times with friends and family, and the oldest farmers market in the country? Then the Lancaster Central Market is for you. This highlight of Lancaster City houses 60 diverse vendors. So, I went down to the heart of Lancaster to find out what makes this place so special.
The market was established in 1730. Originally, it was an open-air market. And then in 1889, this building was constructed. The oldest stand is actually
Groff's Vegetable Stand. We've been here for almost 70 years. So I'm the third generation, and my son over here is the fourth generation.
My favorite thing about being in Central Market is I get to meet all kinds of new people.
the people that make the Central Market different from just going to your grocery store.
Having that personal connection with the customers.
They come here and they smile.
Wow, from this experience, I can definitely say that the bond and energy that this building brings out in people is irreplaceable. For Lancaster Catholic, I'm Mia Loney.
Wow, my mouth is watering. I think it's time I take a trip back to the market.
Me too. If you're ever visiting, Lancaster Central Market is located on 23rd North Market Street and is open on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday.
This has been Lancaster Catholic. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Xavier and Alexis. Now, you mentioned your mouth was watering and mine is too. I don't know about you, Mia. What's the first thing you're going to get the next time that you go?
The first thing I'm going to get is the pizza they have over there. It is very delicious.
I really like the kinds of fruits they have and vegetables. It's all just very fresh. I like it. It's nice.
Well, that sounds very yummy. And thank you so much for informing us on that market.
College campuses are the prime location for crime-related activities to occur.
That's right, Mia. University of Pittsburgh students experience these events not only in Oakland, but in regional campuses as well.
Our regional campus reporter, Aiden Dean Dunn, has more on an upcoming forum at Pitt Johnstown that could help. Aiden?
There's a forum coming up next week at the University of Pittsburgh, Johnstown to discuss the possibilities for reformation and improvement of our criminal reform system. This is an opportunity for students and teachers and community members to come together and hear discussions between and have discussions with the very people who make up and enact change on our criminal justice reform system.
For me, the whole point of college really is to introduce people to new ideas, to introduce them to other worldviews and perspectives, to make you a little uncomfortable, right? It's not just getting reinforced what you already believe. So if we can get a perspective that's not usually shared, even if I don't happen to share it myself, I think we're doing a service to the community. We're doing a service to our students, because then they can hear those ideas and weigh them for themselves and decide who they agree with, who they don't.
And that is exactly what this forum is set up to do. It includes a diverse group of voices, including politicians and legislators from different parties, former law enforcement officers, and lobbyists who will discuss the varying issues. Professor Kleinstuber notes the specific significance of these topics for the residents of our state.
I think that the topics particularly affect Pennsylvania a lot. We are, for example, one of 12 states that does not have a compensation statute for exonerees. We're one of the states that's resisted legalizing recreational marijuana. Pennsylvania has more people serving life without parole than any country in the world except the United States. And we have more people serving life without parole than any state in the country except Florida. We have about 10% of the nationwide total of people serving life without parole in Pennsylvania.
The forum will take place at 5 p.m. on March 21st at the John P. Murtha Center for Public Service and National Competitiveness. Professor Kleinstuber wanted to remind us that this isn't just a soundbite or a press release, But it's a real opportunity to hear a discussion between the people who have the opportunity to make change in our system, and it's a discussion that you can be a part of. For Regional Campus Reporting at Pitt to the Point, I'm Aiden Dean Dunn. Margot, Mia?
Thank you so much, Aiden. Coming up, we will be soaring into one of the most ultimate clubs on campus.
Stay tuned for news on the Pittsburgh Penguins and PPG Paints Arena from our city sports reporter.
All that and more when we return.
We are the University of Pittsburgh, forged in a blue-collar city with gold standards, where innovators, researchers, thinkers, and healers are always reaching for new heights. There is no limit to what we can accomplish when we put our minds, our hands, our soul, and spirit to it. Here, progress is always in progress. Hail to Pitt, proud partner of the ACC.
Welcome back to Pitt to the Point. For our Clubbing at Pitt segment, we highlight one club from the University of Pittsburgh that is creating social, professional, and academic opportunities for students around campus.
This week, we are highlighting one club that gives students a chance to build up their ultimate Frisbee skills.
Take a look.
Welcome to Club Hoppers. I'm Elliot.
I'm Dia.
And we're here with the Pitt B Men's Ultimate Club. Yeah! That was awesome.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it helped me make a lot of friends. It requires a lot of athleticism, a lot of running, a lot of footwork, thinking quickly, acting quickly. It's just a lot of fun, honestly. I'd say it's a lot more teamwork. Like if I'm in my backyard, I'm just throwing it. So it's a lot more fun, a lot more competitive. I feel like I get a lot more out of it because I get to play with people I enjoy playing with. We want to advance to the regional competition, so I guess just keep winning games, so that's a big goal. Definitely give it a try. I mean, it's a great environment. Everyone's really accepting here. Like, we've had a bunch of new people join even halfway through, and they're learning a lot and having a great time. So I'd say give it a try. So producers only two. It's handlers and cutters. So you'll see handlers are the ones throwing it, and then cutters are the ones down the field who will be receiving and catching it. So like football, there's an end zone. So pretty much you just keep passing until you catch it in the end zone. You can't run with the disc. So it's big on just being able to throw it and catching it inside the lines. I'd say it's very competitive compared to a lot. Like, I played for a bunch of other teams, and I'd say it's way more competitive here, which is really cool. Sometimes we'll play at Carnegie Mellon. Sometimes we'll travel far. Like last year, we went to Virginia for a tournament. But sometimes on Saturdays, we'll have a game here that people can watch. Come out, give it a try. Come out, watch us play. It's a lot of fun. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Margot, that club looks like a blast.
I agree.
I wonder if they're recruiting any lefties. I'll have to work on my swing.
Now, Pittsburgh is a hot spot for all things sports, as we just learned.
That's right, Margot, especially hockey. The Pittsburgh Penguins are making advancements, not just in their season, but also in their facilities.
We take it to our city sports reporter, Amelia Pearson, who is live at PPG Paints Arena for updates on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Amelia?
Thanks, girls. Now, you may notice we are outside at PPG Paints Arena today, and that's because the Penguins season is dwindling down to an end. With less than 15 games left to play this season, some fans are wondering, what's up with the lackluster content we've been receiving with the Penguins this year? Yeah, it's been an interesting season, but the team still holds a wild card spot for the Stanley Cup playoffs. The question is, can they hold on to it?
The Pittsburgh Penguins are in the final stretch of the regular season with only 14 games left to play. The team currently holds a wild card spot for the Stanley Cup playoffs, sitting 4th in the Metropolitan Division and 7th in the Eastern Conference. Captain Sidney Crosby says that the team is making a push for the playoffs.
It should be,
full throttle here.
They want you even
see
louder.
See what we can do and get every point we can get. I think it's a good thing when you're playing important games every single night. That's going to bring out our best, and it should make us that much more sharp. And if we find a way to get in, then I think that'll be something that serves us well.
Okay,
but we're going to find a way
give
to
me like
get
a
there first.
10-second countdown.
Forward Jason Zucker has been a firecracker for the Pens as he leads the NHL in goals scored since February 28th with 9 goals in 8 games. After some frustrating losses, Zucker had this to say.
Done some pretty good things the last few games, obviously not tonight. We need to move past this one pretty quick. Even though we didn't win those last few, we did some really good things in those games. So we got to get back to playing our game. We got to throw this one away as quick as possible.
The team will face off against the New York Rangers tomorrow at 8 p.m. at Madison Square Garden. Like Crosby said, a push needs to be made to stay in playoff contention and bring home another Stanley Cup.
And some PPG news with Pittsburgh. This arena will be getting some upgrades this season. And by upgrades, I mean $30 million worth. They'll be getting a new VIP suite, 2 bunker-level suites, and, just like the Pirates, a brand new scoreboard. Now, the Penguins will play the Rangers tomorrow at 8 p.m. at Madison Square Garden. Let's hope that they can hold on to this playoff spot. From Pitt to the Point, I'm City Sports reporter Amelia Pearson. Mia, Margot.
Thank you so much, Amelia. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but you're looking at one of the biggest Pittsburgh Penguins fans around town.
I try to at least. At least the university offers some student rush tickets, so I've been able to catch some games for a pretty cheap cost.
Absolutely. She took me to one.
Thank you, as always, for tuning in to Pitt to the Point.
We ask you to stick around for an exciting story on an eco-friendly robot from our business and technology reporter.
Stay tuned to learn more about an incredible Pitt alum who has a remarkable career in the sports industry.
But wait, there's more. Stay tuned to hear about Pittsburgh's luckiest tradition that happened downtown this week.
I see what you did there, Margot. We'll be right back.
Officially back and in the books.
Stefanski just shoots and he scores. They're the winningest team in Pittsburgh history.
Ball sent in, Sullivan, Pittsburgh 1-0.
Great strike, Michael Sullivan.
Pittsburgh has a share of the ACC title in 2022.
The record set by Tony Dorsett has been broken by Israel Abanikanda here.
The Pitt Panthers are going into the next round for the first time in program history.
Welcome back to Pitt to the Point. The United States has been struggling with the opioid epidemic for years.
Pennsylvania specifically has been one of the leading states in opioid overdoses.
The coronavirus did not help with the opioid epidemic either.
In this edition of the Medical Minute, take a look at the plan the University of Pittsburgh has come up with to help counties in need.
Pitt implicated a new method for counties to deal with the opioid epidemic, causing a 30% decrease this past month in overdoses. I sat down with Dr. Janice Pringle to learn more.
We would treat the communities like you would an organization.
So what we did is we went in and we followed a process of understanding first through all the data that we had available to us and any that we might collect in the community. And then from there, we knew that there could be ways in which we would have an ability to take all that information and focus it by developing a vision for that specific community, and that you could use that vision to galvanize individuals to work together for the purpose of reducing overdoses. And we gave the communities some guidance as to how they could pull these coalitions together. And then we helped them launch the coalitions. We helped them put together some of the needs assessment information so that the coalitions would see what was going on and what really might be the suggestions of things they could do next.
I then asked Dr. Pringle what the university and research team will do to ensure that the overdose numbers continue to trend in the correct direction.
We would like to see some of what we've learned folded into what Pennsylvania is going to do under this new administration, because it's really not that we implemented any specific kind of intervention. It's you've got to work a certain way in the community.
Very insightful. Now, reuse, reduce, recycle. We have all heard it, but many trash is failed to be recycled.
A new solution to this age-old issue is the trash bot. The robot sorts the trash thrown away into specific categories.
Our business and technology reporter, Maggie McLeod, has more on this revolutionary technology. Maggie.
Does this piece of trash belong in the recycling bin or the trash bin? Don't know? Neither does 2/3 of people within the United States. While we struggle with this problem, Pittsburgh-based company Clean Robotics is working towards finding innovative ways to sort through recyclables versus trash and fix this human error through the power of AI technology.
This is TrashBot. It may look like just an average trash bin on the outside, but on the inside, it's using artificial intelligence to sort trash and recycling so you don't have to.
There's actually about 74 to 75% of our landfill that could be recyclable. We're really missing a large piece of the puzzle in regards to what's happening at the point of disposal. TrashBot's really created to take that decision away from the human itself and allow the robotics to automate and sort.
So what we do is we show it an image and say, here's this object, and this is what it is. And we teach it this way over and over and over with many, many examples. And yeah, eventually it sort of learns that, oh, this is an aluminum can.
TrashBot can also track the fullness of trash bins in real time. Places like airports often struggle with efficient trash removal, either taking out the trash too often or letting trash overflow for too long.
Like, for example, Wednesdays at 6 a.m., there's a bunch of flights that come in from China, and a bunch of people throw stuff away, and all your bins are full at that time. You might want to hire more people at that time, or get real-time alerts like, hey, bin 76 is full. Then they know, and they don't just have to wait until somebody walks by and says, oh no, look at that.
TrashBot shows that one person's trash is another one's treasure, and the team at Clean Robotics sure do treasure the fact that they are making a difference in the world.
Why I'm here is, once again, right, just to make a difference. You know, we only do get one life, we only do get one opportunity to really leave some sort of lasting impact. Whatever I can do to support that, I feel like I'm making a difference.
As for ways you can make a difference on an individual level and make the recycling process easier, Mr. Galvez gave a rather simple solution. Just take any plastic bottle you have and dump the liquid out before putting it in the recycling bin. This small change can actually make a huge impact and can make or break if your piece of plastic ends up being recyclable or just another piece of trash in the landfill. From Pitt to the Point, I'm business and technology reporter Maggie McLeod. Margot and Mia?
Thank you for that update, Maggie. It is incredible what technology can do today. Each week, Pitt to the Point has the honor of recognizing a University of Pittsburgh alumni that continues to impact our community and make Pitt proud.
That's right, Mia. This week, we are highlighting one Pitt alum that has an incredible editing career.
Beth Ross is a senior video editor and today's Alumni Spotlight.
Take a look.
I'm a senior video editor, and depending on what the season is, that's what sport I'm cutting. From August until February, I'm cutting mostly NFL. I work for Sunday Countdown, Monday Countdown, and for NFL Live. And I could either be working on our edit system, or I could also be doing telestrations. And that's kind of my favorite thing to do. So I try to do that as much as possible. And telestrations would be like the rings that fall, the arrows, people moving around. So you work directly with the talent and they tell you what they want to show. And then you figure out how to do that. Whatever the biggest story of the day is, or whatever the best game is, that's what they're going to want first. So if you're cutting that game, you might have 30 seconds after the game's over to get that in. And then, of course, they're hollering for you to get it in. And you have to, hurry up. And so that part of it, I really like a lot. Some people find it stressful, but I think it's really fun. I feel like I'm very lucky to be doing what I'm doing because I really love sports. They pay me to watch sports and then to cut the games. And it's, 26 years later, and here I am at ESPN, and I'm still doing the same job I was hired for, and I still love what I do. So.
Wow, I can see why she was our spotlight. Editing is a career that not many people realize is tedious and hard work. Coming up, we'll be lucky enough to hear from our entertainment reporter about Pittsburgh's St. Patrick's Day Parade.
After the break, we'll be joined live with a Pitt student who was given the opportunity to present at the Academy Awards.
All that and more when we return.
So one inventive tool that the University of Pittsburgh has is Pitt Funds Me. So Pitt Funds Me is for outside scholarships that you can review and apply for as well. There's 8,000 plus scholarships on that website. These scholarships have been vetted as good and reliable resources, so you can guarantee that these are not resources that are trying to steal money or trying to scam you in any way. Any student has access to this, even admitted students who have not deposited yet. When you go into your my.pitt.edu, you'll want to search in the Ask Kathy box, Pitt Funds Me, and make sure instead of an S in Pitt Funds Me, you're going to put a $sign. That will allow you to go into the portal to be able to look at all the outside scholarship opportunities that fit your specific profile. They will ask several questions. You do not have to answer all questions or any questions if you don't want to, but the more questions you answer, the more opportunities that become available to you to apply.
Welcome back. We are so happy that you're joining us this morning. Pitt Tonight is the university's best and only late night talk show.
From a live studio audience to sketch comedy to a house band and hilarious show host Nick Casano, it's worth checking out Pitt Tonight.
The guests for Pitt Tonight will be announced on their Instagram.
People can find tickets by scanning the QR code on the screen or by going to their Instagram at Pitt Tonight. A Pittsburgh tradition I know many native Yinzers are fond of was celebrated this week.
That's right, Mia. Pittsburgh was painted green, just like us, this week in celebration of St. Patrick's Day.
I'm looking forward to hearing about it. Let's hear from our entertainment reporter, Anthony Stici, with more on Pittsburgh's St. Patrick's Day Parade. Anthony, what do you have for us?
Top of the morning to you and happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. We here at Pitt to the Point started our celebration a little early last Saturday with Pittsburgh's annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. Pittsburgh is home to one of the largest Irish American populations in the United States, with 11% of their population being Irish. And well, your trusty entertainment reporter doesn't fall into that percentile, so we needed to find a way to fit in.
Let's head on down to the parade and see if I can pass off as being Irish. Do you think I can pass as being Irish for this parade?
I mean, not really, but I mean, you probably fit it better than me, but I don't even think it matters that much.
I try my best.
Okay, well, maybe my disguise didn't make me any more Irish, but that didn't stop the annual celebration from continuing. The parade is one of the largest events the City of Pittsburgh houses each year, with a route spanning almost 1.5 miles from start to end, gathering more than 200 attractions. The parade is not only the largest in Pittsburgh, but one of the largest in the United States, bringing over 200,000 spectators from around the United States annually.
I've been coming down here with my mom and dad for years when I was a little kid, and I've always brought my kids here since they were little, every year.
Probably since I was born.
Yeah, it was snowing and stuff like that, just like today. It's actually starting to snow again.
Pittsburgh natives look forward to the parade every year, with it being an annual tradition for many Pittsburghers. The parade is often referred to as the unofficial start to spring, even if that means spring is starting off with freezing temperatures.
I had no desire to be up at 10 in the morning. It's my weekend. I didn't want to wake up. But now I'm here to just have some fun, I guess. Soak it in.
What's your guys' favorite tradition for St. Patrick's Day?
Just wearing green. It's so fun. Everybody wears it and just everybody's like excited about St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day is a special time for Pittsburgh, a time of celebration for the city's Irish heritage, even for those who may not be blessed with the luck of the Irish. Pittsburgh's St. Patrick's Day Parade will continue to be one of the city's defining events for years to come.
How exciting. Now we take it to our entertainment reporter, Anthony Siki, who has a very special guest.
As well, the St. Patrick's Day Parade wasn't the only thing that happened last weekend. Now, last week was actually the 95th Annual Academy Awards. It was a very special one for us here at the University of Pittsburgh. Our own Aditi Sridhar was fortunate enough to present multiple awards at the Oscars last Sunday, and now we're fortunate to have you in the studio today to talk about your experience at the Oscars and everything that you have coming up now. Aditi, how are you doing today?
Good. It's been a crazy week.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, though.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Now, last Sunday had to be an unreal experience for you, from being on Good Morning America in the morning and then presenting those coveted gold trophies at night. Now, can you walk us through what that experience was like for you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't know what to expect going into it. I knew that we would have an opportunity to be on stage for at least one of the categories and get to present an award. But when I got there, we had like a few rehearsals, and I realized that I was going to be on stage for multiple awards, including Best Picture, which I was very, very excited about. So it was just a whirlwind of a weekend. I tried to live in the moment as much as I could, but honestly, it was difficult because there was so much going on at the same time. But the Academy Gold program that gave me this opportunity really gave us so much to learn from the entire experience, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, were there any standout moments that come to mind right away for you?
Yeah, I think the Best Picture winning was amazing because I was really rooting for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah. And then the way that the entire cast was celebrating was incredible. They almost wanted to celebrate with us and bring us into it. So it was almost like we were part of that historic moment. Michelle Yeoh even gave us a hug. Oh. It was I was just so happy that we got to share that moment with them, and just see an Asian American movie win. It was really happy for me.
Yeah. So of course you're an aspiring filmmaker yourself. What was it like being on one of the largest stages for filmmakers? I mean, I would even say the largest stage for filmmakers at such a young age.
Yeah, it was a very surreal experience, but I think there was so much synergy in that room. And honestly, you stop looking at celebrities as celebrities and you start looking at them as people and seeing how impacted they were when they won awards or when they were even nominated for an award. So to see how much their artistic craft means to them just made me more inspired and motivated to do my own work and hopefully one day get to go back there. And it was just very crazy to be in the room when the stage manager took us onto stage right before it started, and the entire room was just packed with people, and you're looking at the front row and seeing Michelle Yeoh and Austin Butler and Steven Spielberg, and you're okay, you're in the room where it's happening.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just mentioned that you were fortunate enough to work as an intern with the Academy Gold program. Now, can you walk us through what that experience was like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I did an internship with Warner Brothers Pictures, and then I was doing the Academy Gold program in conjunction. So we had panels, speaker discussions, workshops, and I met some of the best people that I know in that program, collaborators that I still work with today. And out of that, we started doing a short film and doing short film pitches. So it was really cool just to be connected with so many like-minded up-and-coming filmmakers as well. And that was the biggest thing I got out of the program.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming out and talking with us about your experience at the Oscars. We're so excited to see everything that you accomplish in the film industry in the future. We know you're going to do great.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Congratulations again from all of us here at Pitt to the Point. So if you would like to support Aditi's new short film that she's actually working on, Alu Puri, you could head over to their Instagram page, Alu Puri Film, all one word, right?
All one word.
So you can learn more information about the film on there, and you can actually support them directly on there if you are so inclined. From Pitt to the Point, I'm your entertainment reporter, Anthony Siki. Mia, Margo.
Thank you, Anthony. That is inspiring, to say the least. We're so fortunate to go to a university that can provide these opportunities for students. After the break, we will be wrapping up today's show with some delicious updates on an off-campus restaurant in Oakland.
We'll be right back, Pittsburgh.
They come here, forged in the spirit of change, pushing to answer the questions, and then questioning the answers, embracing each challenge as fuel for reinventing the world. Because here, leadership, courage, creativity, innovation, and progress are always in progress. The University of Pittsburgh. Forge ahead.
We are the University of Pittsburgh, forged in a blue-collar city with gold standards, where innovators, researchers, thinkers, and healers are always reaching for new heights. There is no limit to what we can accomplish when we put our minds, our hands, our soul, and spirit toward it. Here, progress is always in progress. Hail to Pitt, proud partner of the ACC.
Welcome back to Pitt to the Point. Some of our very own Pitt to the Point crew had the chance to taste some Oakland cuisine this week.
The Hunan Bar is located on Atwood Street and features Chinese foods, including popular bubble tea and hot pot specials.
Let's hear more about this Oakland restaurant from our crew.
Welcome to Hunan Bar. Located right in the center of South Oakland on Atwood Street, where many Pitt students reside and about a 5-minute walk from campus, Hunan Bar serves up traditional Chinese food that goes beyond your typical Monday night takeout, serving its special traditional Chinese dish, hot pot. This Wednesday, your Pitt to the Point team decided to expand their palates and try the specialty for themselves.
It's really good. It really soaks up the flavor of the broth, but it's really crisp. It's good texture. I feel like before today, my knowledge of Chinese food is pretty much started with fried rice and end with lo mein. So I feel like it's been nice to actually eat something that's authentic and just a different culture. I think it's really cool to just branch out, especially in Oakland. We have so many different cultures here.
I've never heard of a hot pot before tonight, so I didn't know if I would like it, if it would be weird to me, because I'm a very picky eater. But I do have to say, it was delicious. I love all of the options, and I love kind of the allergen safety with it.
Hunan Bar is run entirely by Chinese immigrants, whose mission is to spread authenticity and give Oakland the best of what China has to offer. And the hot pot proved to be a favorite amongst Pitt to the Point staff.
Stuff like this is just fun. I've never done it before, and we got to try a whole bunch of stuff I've never done in a way of eating food that I've never had. But this was my favorite. The lamb?
Yeah.
The lamb.
Wow. All that food makes me hungry for a win. Mia, are you going to be watching the Panthers take on Iowa State today at 3:10?
Absolutely. I hope our luck doesn't run out this weekend. So much to celebrate. We're hoping Pitt students stay safe and have a wonderful celebration this weekend.
Absolutely. Well, Mia, I have some bad news. This brings us to the end of today's show. We hope you tune in next Friday for another exciting show of Pitt to the Point. Once again, I'm Margo Rensel.
And I'm Mia Wadella. Pitt to the Point is your #1 news source for all things happening at Pitt, all the way
to the point. We cannot thank you enough for tuning in this morning on Pitt to the Point.
Catch you next week.